Hello, this is Movies Rundown, and today I'll be discussing a film titled Pompeii, Northern Britain 62 AD. In the movie, a young boy named Milo is awakened by the commotion outside his home in northern Britain. Curious, he ventures out to witness the aftermath of an attack on the Celts by the Romans led by Senator Corvus. The Romans intended to suppress the rebellion. Tragically, Milo sees his father, the leader of the Celtic tribe, being killed by the soldiers. Milo's mother attempts to protect him, but a passing rider knocks her down. Senator Corvus then takes the life of Milo's mother and orders the execution of all the Celts. Realizing that he could be next, Milo decides to play dead. His body, along with others, is thrown onto a pile and the nomad settlement is set ablaze. In the morning, Milo emerges from a pile of lifeless bodies and witnesses his parents hanging from a tree nearby. Having narrowly escaped, he strives to survive and spends a night beneath a tree in the forest. However, his solitude is short-lived as the slave owner discovers him 17 years later in Londinium. In the present time, Londinium, the Greek named Bellador and his companion Londinium arrive at the local amphitheater's arena seeking something new. Unexpectedly, they witness the appearance of Milo, now a gladiator, in the arena. With remarkable ease, Milo overpowers 3 Romans, dispatching them to the afterlife within seconds. Astonished by his victory, the Greek decides to redirect Milo's path towards Pompeii so that he may fight closer to the grandeur of Rome rather than in the remote wilderness. During their journey, the gladiator catches sight of a captivating young woman named Cassia, who happens to be the daughter of a wealthy citizen overseeing Pompeii. The wagon plunges into a pit, causing the horse to collapse onto the ground. The horse is in a dire situation, and Cassia realizes this. She appeals to Milo for assistance in saving the unfortunate animal. The Celt decides to spare the horse from further suffering by twisting its neck, which evokes sympathy from Cassia. After returning to her hometown, Cassia goes for a leisurely stroll with her best friend Ariadne, eventually making her way back home to her parents. Later, she encounters her father and mother but avoids discussing the reason she was compelled to flee Rome after spending a whole year there. In the evening, Cassia visits her beloved horse and asks Felix to prepare it for the upcoming walk the next day. Meanwhile, Milo finds himself confined in the basement of the local amphitheater, where the gladiators are housed. Atticus, a friend of Milo, notices the Celt's presence and offers to bet on whether he can survive the night. Atticus is confident that the newcomer won't endure for more than an hour, so he wagers 2 glasses of wine against Milo. Before long, several gladiators instigate a confrontation with Milo, seeking revenge for the death of one of their brethren. The battle commences, during which the Celt dispatches one gladiator to the afterlife, while the second gladiator suffers severe injuries. The Greek implores Bellator to better protect his fighters and assigns Milo to Atticus' enclosure. Meanwhile, Vesuvius awakens, causing tremors. Felix notices the nearby lake swirling and attempts to escape, but his frightened horse throws him off and bolts away, leaving Felix stranded and helpless as he falls to the ground. The next morning, Atticus tries to get Milo's name, but Milo ignores him due to his lack of trust in anyone. Once in the arena, Atticus, the local gladiatorial champion, communicates with Bellator, reminding him that he is supposed to receive his freedom after another victory. Bellator agrees, but before the gladiator can attain freedom, he must face one more fight. The only one bold enough to challenge the champion in the training ground is Milo. From the beginning, Atticus demonstrates his superiority, but the Celt refuses to surrender. At a certain point, their duel is interrupted when one of the gladiators attempts to end Milo's life by attacking him from behind with a knife. However, Atticus notices the treachery and saves the Celt. Later on, the champion of the local arena confesses that he did it because he believes every gladiator should face death face to face. He refuses to let anyone suffer a dishonorable demise and promises to personally end Milo's life in tomorrow's duel. The Celt expresses gratitude to Atticus for rescuing him but cautions that he will emerge victorious in tomorrow's battle, not his adversary. Corvus arrives in Pompeii accompanied by his assistant Proculus, but the people not only fail to welcome the politician but also defiantly turn away from him, which displeases Corvus. Cassia's parents, Severus and Aurelia, warmly receive the guest and extend an invitation for a grand dinner. Later, Cassia's mother attempts to engage her in conversation to uncover the reason for her return, but Cassia refuses to discuss it. Noticing Felix, the horse that has returned home, Cassia realizes that something has happened to him. In the cell, Atticus and Milo engage in conversation and discuss their upcoming practice match. Each of them exchanges remarks expressing unwavering confidence in their victory. Atticus firmly believes that he will become the ultimate champion and gain his freedom. However, Milo cautions him against being deceived, stating that the Romans are deceitful and cowardly and they will never uphold their promises. The conversation between the gladiators is interrupted when they are selected to be sent to Severus's house. On the way, Milo spots Proculus and realizes that the man who killed his parents is in town. At Severus's house, wealthy ladies have the opportunity to rent any of the gladiators for the night in exchange for a substantial reward. Meanwhile, a wealthy individual meets with Corvus and presents him with the blueprint for the new amphitheater. However, official reports suggest that the emperor has no intention of investing in this venture, as his sole interest lies in Rome. Nonetheless, the wealthy citizen is willing to bear all the costs under one condition: Severus must bring his daughter to Corvus. Among the crowd, the conspicuous Atticus, a dark-skinned individual, attracts significant attention. On the other hand, Milo is solely interested in one person, Cassia. This observation is not only noticed by Cassia's friend but also by her mother. Severus finds Cassia and requests to introduce a distinguished guest. As soon as the girl sees Corvus, it becomes apparent that they have a prior acquaintance. It was due to Corvus's unwelcome advances that Cassia was compelled to leave Rome and return home. During the party, Mount Vesuvius erupts again, causing a minor earthquake that frightens both people and horses. Upon discovering that her horse is uncontrollable, Cassia implores Milo to assist her. Bellator, unable to argue with the girl, allows the gladiator to enter the stable unaccompanied. Milo skillfully calms the horse, and Cassia, who has been following him, soon realizes that everything is back to normal. Seizing the opportunity, she suggests to the gladiator that they use this moment to escape, and he agrees. The couple flees from the villa, but soon after, they are pursued, leading Milo to realize that surrendering would be the wiser choice. Corva desired to end the fugitive's life, but Cassia pleaded for mercy instead, promising to show greater kindness and consideration towards the senator. In agreement with the girl's conditions, Corva sentenced Milo to endure 15 lashes. Cassia implored her father to stop the ongoing horror, but Severus had no authority to challenge the senator. Upon returning to the holding area, Milo communicated with Atticus and revealed that he had witnessed the man responsible for taking away his family. In turn, the champion shared his own story about relatives he hadn't seen in 2 decades. As they approached each other and reached an understanding, the men shook hands. Milo called out his name and realized that from that day onward, he and Atticus were friends, a bond that would remain unbroken even in the face of tomorrow's battle where they were destined to confront each other. Unfamiliar to the other gladiators, Corva altered the schedule and arranged for Milo's death in the first duel. In the morning, a crowd gathered in the amphitheater to witness yet another gladiatorial clash. The Greek instructed Bellator to send Milo to the initial duel. The assistant reminded him that Atticus would triumph over any other opponent, but the Greek insisted on sending the champion after Milo. Soon, the Greek noticed cracks forming on the ceiling, indicating that the amphitheater couldn't withstand the tremors. He alerted Severus and requested a rescheduling of the duel, but the wealthy man refused. Sensing an impending catastrophe, Greg decided to leave the city temporarily. A staged fight was arranged in the arena of the amphitheater. Severus aimed to please the senator by reenacting the Roman suppression of the Celtic rebellion. To accomplish this task, Milo, Atticus, and a group of other gladiators were chained to a massive tree. They soon found themselves surrounded by numerous gladiators dressed as Roman soldiers, setting the stage for an uneven battle. Despite the odds, Milo and Atticus skillfully dispatched their opponents, one by one, while the champion chopped down the tree. Milo then mounted his horse and swiftly eliminated his enemies, including the last gladiator, in a matter of seconds. In a bold move, he also defied the Roman standard, which greatly offended Corva as it deviated from his envisioned production. Motivated by the desire to avenge his orphanhood, Milo sought to punish the man responsible by hurling a spear-shaped fragment of the standard at the senator. However, at the last moment, Proculus managed to save his master. Atticus and Milo found themselves surrounded by archers, who were ready to execute the gladiators for daring to threaten the senator's life. Corva, prepared to issue the order, was interrupted by Cassia, who signaled her approval with a thumbs-up gesture, urging for Milo to be spared. She garnered support from the audience and implored Corva not to tarnish his reputation. She stipulated that he must accept her decision, and in return, she would agree to become his wife, under the condition that her parents remain unharmed by the senator. Severus and his wife were taken aback by the unfolding events but realized they couldn't challenge Corvus, fearing swift consequences. The senator commanded for Cassia to be confined within the villa, claiming ownership over her. Meanwhile, Vesuvius awakens simultaneously, but Corvus reassures the frightened crowd, explaining that the gods demand another battle. In order to comply, he sends Proculus, the Roman champion of gladiatorial fights, to the arena. As the duel unfolds, the volcano erupts, casting a dark cloud of volcanic ash that blankets the sky. The arena starts to crumble, causing panic among the people who scramble to escape, yet the gladiators continue their fight undeterred. In the chaos, Milo confronts Proculus in the collapsing arena and liberates the other gladiators. Proculus manages to flee, leaving Bellator to face a gruesome fate. Tragically, during the amphitheater's collapse, Cassia's parents are crushed under the rubble. Aurelia pleads with Severus, asking him to send the senator to the afterlife to rescue Cassia. Despite his efforts, Severus fails and sustains a mortal wound, succumbing to an eternal slumber while holding Aurelia's hand. Upon encountering Proculus, Corvus instructs him to lead him to the harbor. Meanwhile, the Greek, unable to leave the city in time, generously bribes the guards to allow him onto a ship, desperate to sail away from the coast promptly. The gladiators ascend to the arena and discover Cassia's deceased parents before drifting into eternal sleep themselves. Aurelia implores Milo to protect her daughter, revealing that the girl is trapped in a villa situated at the base of Vesuvius. Atticus suggests fleeing to the harbor, but Milo insists on staying until he finds Cassia. Inside the villa, the Celt heroically rescues the girl from the collapsing and burning structure. Unfortunately, Cassia's friend is less fortunate, as the crumbling rocks drag her body down with them. Due to the significant number of individuals causing chaos in the dying city, Corvus issues orders to eliminate anyone obstructing their path. However, as a fiery volcanic boulder approaches the senator, he has a change of heart. Meanwhile, Atticus and a group of people attempt to flee to the city harbor but discover a colossal tsunami emerging from the sea, posing a grave threat to the entire city. In response, Atticus changes course and witnesses a baby losing her mother. The noble gladiator comes to the girl's rescue, ensuring her safety until the tsunami subsides and reuniting her with her mother. Meanwhile, Milo and Cassia seek shelter from a rain of rocks for a brief period. Once the chaos settles, it appears that the worst is over. However, Mount Vesuvius continues to spew more stones, endangering the existence of Pompeii. After encountering Atticus, Milo suggests freeing the horses from the arena to facilitate their escape. The gladiators venture underground and come across Roman soldiers, while Cassia mourns the loss of her deceased parents. Unfortunately, Proculus captures her and hands her over to the senator, Corvus. The girl is then chained to a chariot as Corvus attempts to flee the city. Upon dealing with the warriors, the gladiators confront Proculus. Since the senator is leaving, they decide to split up. Atticus remains behind to engage Proculus in combat, despite being gravely wounded. Refusing to give up, Atticus breaks his sword and uses a fragment to fatally injure a Roman gladiator, sending him to the afterlife. Meanwhile, Cassia fractures a part of the board and makes an attempt to release her hand when a cobblestone arrives. As a result, the chariot overturns, and Milo engages in a fight with Corvus, causing severe injuries to him. Cassia, driven by her love for Milo, decides to restrain Corvus by chaining him to the chariot. Reflecting on the events that occurred 17 years ago, Milo abandons the senator to his own fate. The couple endeavors to escape, but they realize that the horse cannot carry both of them. Understanding that there is no way to evade Vesuvius, Milo and Cassia choose not to flee, embracing their fate in their final moments. They share a kiss as lovers and meet their demise. In a heroic act, Atticus confronts a stream of scorching lava, remaining undefeated. Thanks for watching. We hope you subscribe and like the video.